Well, again, good to see you guys here, and we're excited that we won us a tight ball game against a ranked opponent after such a tough start we had to the season. So spirits are high. A lot easier to coach after you win a ball game than the alternative. I thought, we did some really good things. The number one thing is we found a way to win a ball game, a close ball game against a good opponent. But we still got a lot of room to improve. We got to do a better job again on offense of taking advantage of some of the defensive stops. One thing we've had a hard time doing the past 2 weeks is get 2 scores ahead of our opponent, try to put a little pressure on those guys. Defensively, we probably played the best we've played all year for 3 quarters. In overtime, fourth quarter, we struggled a little bit. I think maybe we got a little tired. I don't know, but we gave up a couple scores there. And that was about the only negative thing for the defense was that fourth quarter. And then our special teams, we got to shore up our kicking game. We gave up another big return. Coverage was okay. Kick was a little off. We just got to get those things together. We had a punt blocked. We had an 11-yard punt. There's just some things we got to get cleaned up in that area if we're going to continue to win ball games. So, again, we're excited. Again, I'm proud for our guys. They finally got them a win under their belt. It's been a while, and this week we got a lot of work to do in order to keep this winning streak we got alive.
Of course, you got to be happy with KD's play. Second week in a row, he was named the Conference Player of the Week. Players just in here were talking about how they've been impressed, how he's been leading, and especially the way he stood in the pocket last week.
Well, yeah, he's a really good leader, and he's been the backup here for a while, but he's still a young player when it comes to experience on the field, and he's doing some really good things. He makes some really good throws, but there's some things that still he has to get more consistent at. But yeah, he's definitely a great leader. The guys respond well to him, and he's doing some good things. He's still got a ways to go, but at least he's making some plays to give us a chance to win late in the ball game.
And we're all involved in the sports. We know sometimes there's always one moment that gets a team going. All 3 of the players here, they realize that this could be a spark for them, but I think they also realize it's up to them. You've done all the coaching that you can for them. They've got to get it done on the field, and I think they kind of had that click for them on Saturday.
Well, yeah, that tells you a little bit about our team, and the coach and the quarterback, man. They get all the credit when you win, and they get all the blame when you get beat. But, if you prepare well during the week, and I've said this before, if you prepare well, really the coaches don't even need to go to the game. I mean, the guys should know what to do. I mean, once you get to the game, very rarely do you have that moment where you're able to make some type of world-beating adjustment on the sideline to help you win. Now, with that being said, I thought we did a nice job adjusting the other day. We tweaked a few things at halftime on the offensive side that I thought really helped us. But then today the guys got to go out there and make plays, and that's not throwing them under the bus. But when it's all said and done, you got to go out there and perform well when it's game time, and we did that this past Saturday.
And you got your running game going a little bit, both running backs over 75 yards, and I know that had to help.
Yeah, we did. That was one area, James, going into it, I was very concerned about because of the way they play defense. They play basically a bear defense that's geared to stop the run, and they let their linebackers run pretty free for the most part. But we ran the outside zone extremely well against them. That last drive in regulation where we tied the game on Navarre Griffin's touchdown catch, I think it was a 10-play drive, and we ran it 8 times, and one of them was for a 4th and 2 conversion. So we did some good things in the running game. We got to continue that trend moving forward.
Coach, talk about St. Pierre Anilles with his, comes in as starter, his first game, leads the team in tackles, and had a huge tackle for loss.
The play there in overtime, that was a big one, and he played well. Again, a lot of things to improve on. You go back and watch him, he could have made in the 20s, so we're always trying to get those guys better, but he took advantage of his opportunity. He's a good boy. And we recruited him hard to get him all the way from Key West to Murray, Kentucky. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go on a home visit down there for that deal, so I'm trying to save that one for some other time if the NCAA will allow it. But he's played well, and it was good to see him step up in such a big way.
Also, talk about the offensive line. I think you had Littlefield go down. You had to adjust from that point. What adjustments did you make, and how did they play, in your opinion, from that point?
Well, we hadn't been getting a lot of production out of our guard position. We've been rotating Robert Olive and Hunter Kingston in there, and that's we again, like I said, we just haven't been getting a lot of production out of that spot. So actually, we moved Littlefield and then to the left guard spot and put Brandon Jones, who was a backup tackle, at right guard. So then when Littlefield went down, Hunter Kingston came back in the game, and he played probably his best game of the year. So I think Littlefield's probably out this week. Again, y'all catch me on Monday when there's still a lot of time to recover. But I would say that it would be safe to say that he probably won't play this week. A key contributor. He's a senior, played a lot of snaps. You just don't replace guys like that. So Brandon Jones, Kingston, and Robert Olive are really going to have to step up and help us out there.
Is Jonathan Jackson expected back at practice today?
Well, we don't practice today, so
Okay.
hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. We're expecting him back tonight.
Okay. As far as you talked a little earlier about KD, safe to say after a record-breaking performance last week and then tying a school record this past week, he's your guy going forward?
Well, I mean, he's the quarterback. I mean, he's just like everybody else. If you go out and don't perform well this week, we'll put the backup in the game. I mean, it doesn't ever change. I mean, I mean, is he the guy? Sure. I mean, he's been playing really well. He's back-to-back OVC Player of the Week. He's performing well. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, this is a brand new week. This is the biggest game of the season for us. It's the only one we play this week, so he's got to continue to play well. And if he continues to play well, he'll continue to be the guy. And that's just kind of how it works.
Goal coming into the season, obviously a conference championship, with as well as JSU and EKU are playing right now. To have a shot, you guys probably have to win out. Is that in the back of your mind at all?
No, not really. I mean, those are. I don't know that I've ever said that was our goal. Maybe one of the players said that was the goal. Our goal is to win one game a week. Okay, I mean that's our goal, and to be the best football team that we can be. That's the only goal we ever discuss. And I guess this is my 14th or 15th year being a head coach, and that's the only goal I've ever had. Now, if you win one game a week, you become the best team you're capable of coming. And if your best is good enough, at the end of the year, you reap the rewards, which is winning championships, going to the playoffs, things of that nature. But you don't ever focus on that, and that has never been a point of discussion from me. I never even, when we break down film, we talk about, hey, you got to be ready. These are the plays they run. This is what you're going to see. But we really never ever talk about the other team. You'll never hear me say in the off season, tell our guys, boy, Eastern Kentucky and Austin Peay are up at 5 o'clock in the morning working out. We better get after it. I can't control those guys. I worry about us being the best that we can possibly be. So our goal this week is to play extremely well, improve on the mistakes we had last week, and play the best we can. And hopefully that best will be good enough to beat Austin Peay Saturday night.
Picky stuff. Ospie coming up. One thing that conference-wise, you're still trying to get scores in the second half. You've been outscored in the second half in all your conference games. Just talk about making that improvement and how that helps you out throughout the rest of the season.
Well, we've only played 3 conference games, and I think we've been outscored in the second half every game but one this year. So, I don't have an answer for you. Last year we started slow every game, and this year we start fast every game. I don't know what the issue with that is. Maybe it's a little bit of the teams we play. But again, offensively we try to score every time we go out there, and sometimes it doesn't work. So I don't have an answer on that one there, James. If I did, I'd tell you.
Of course, it
Or
is.
if I did, I would have it fixed, and you wouldn't have to ask me that question anymore.
Of course, it is Austin Peay. It's a rivalry game. It's the next game, one of those quote winnable games because they are struggling. Just talk about guarding against a letdown on Saturday.
Well, first of all, we're not good enough to let down against anybody. I mean, we've won 2 games, so we're not actually just smoking it right now. Again, big game. You got to go on the road. A night game down there. Which how I feel about those games. They got a new stadium. I don't know why we were talking about this the other day. I mean, they ought to call their stadium like the governor's mansion. It's a pretty cool little stadium they got that they built up. They got new turf down, and it looks really nice. So I know they're very proud of that stadium, and and it's going to be a big game for both teams. So they probably look at it and say, man, this is a winnable game for us. The way we've been playing up to this point. So we got to go down and compete. Like I said, it just, to me, it always comes down to what can we do to prepare, what can we do to win the game, and that's have a great week during practice and put ourselves in a good position come the second half next week to win the ball game, and hopefully we'll be able to do that.
I know Coach Cannon, I've heard him on the press conferences, they're playing a ton of freshmen and sophomores. He likes his team. He thinks they'll be good eventually. And they scored 19 points in the first 5 games, but 21 against a 5-2 Mercer team. So they have to be coming in as confident as they've been off a game this year with that performance.
Well, they've kind of changed up some personnel as the season's progressed, changed a few schemes here and there offensively. I guess, they're probably trying to kind of, I hate even to speak for them. I don't know. It just looks like maybe they're trying to find what works best for the talent that they have. They have some good players. Defensively, I know they've given up a whole lot of points, but when you break them down, nobody ever scores against them on the breakdown sheet. So I don't know where they're getting all those. Everybody's getting all these points. But again, Coach Cannon does a good job. They're playing hard. They're playing with a lot of emotion. I'm expecting it to be another tough conference road game. And we have to play at a very high level this Saturday.